God is good, and with each day that passes brings us a day closer to the launch of Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. This is the Nathan Napalm channel, and if you are new here, please consider subscribing. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, and Joppa gave some good insight during a stream on the Voices of Terminus show, which, by the way, was for the end of 2020 and was actually their final show, at least as of now. I think they'll be back later. But anyway, the question was brought from the community during this stream about dailies and is that going to be a part of Pantheon? Now, Joppa gave a really clear and concise answer. Now, before we get to what Joppa said, real quick, I want to cover my personal opinions of dailies and how I think they kind of relate and how they, at least from my point of view, what I think about them. Before we begin, though, I do want to give a big shout out to the members of Napalm. Thank you so much for keeping this channel alive and making it possible for me to make this content. And if you're interested in becoming a member, please click the join button down below for more information and a list of perks. Alright guys, so dailies. So the thing about it is, in MMOs, you log on, you do your dailies. It could be crafting, it could be, you know, running a few dungeons or whatever the case may be. It's kind of this systematic thing to keep you logging in, right? So the game or the world isn't interesting enough to make you just want to go out and try to get better loot or to socialize or run things with your guild, but they wanted to tack something on, which I understand, to try to make people feel like they need to log in every day or they're losing out. Then you got weeklies or monthlies or whatever the particular game may have. I think it's a cop-out. I think it's a cheap way to try to get people to continue to log in and a cheap way to try to keep people addicted. Now, I know some people, they like that. They log on, they get their dailies. I understand that point of view as well. I don't personally like it. Once again, I just think it's kind of a cheap way of making people feel like they have to log in, right? And keeping their subscription going on a very small and weak premise. Now, some games take it even next level, and you know, we don't have to get into that, but you know, it gets to a point where it's like just for logging in, period, you get a reward, right? And that's really silly, right? Like, I don't need a reward just because I decided to log into your game. I just logged into your game because hopefully I wanted to play it, right? And at the rate we're going with the way that the industry works and with the way that publishers and those kind of, you know, Activision and these big companies, the way that they work, it's just going to get more extreme, right? It's going to get more ridiculous. It's going to be, you know, you got to log in twice a day now to get the full reward. Or, you know, it's just not a path that I want my favorite genre to go down, right? So let's hear what Joppa had to say, and then we'll discuss it when he was asked about dailies being in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen.
Well, that immediately reminds me of like mobile games that use energy systems to do anything, and that's like anathema. No, I mean, there no plans for dailies, for weeklies, for monthlies, no plans for, you know, time locked or time gated content where you're having to, you know, you can only go so far before you have to wait a week and do it again. I mean, unless we're talking about things like, you know, respawns and you know, there could be certain necessary dungeon lockouts and raid lockouts or things like that, potentially just as part of the way to balance the consumption of that progression on that level in those ways. But with what you're describing, no, we don't have any plans for that.
And I think that's great news. I think that doing away with dailies on that kind of level, where it's something you log in specifically just to do some tasks on repetition each day with some very small variances, is super boring, right? Now, I do understand that for raid progression, things like that, you might want to have lockouts, especially when you're looking at open world raiding and stuff like that. They're obviously going to have to put some rules and systems in place there to pull it off. Now, I'm still pulling for that for raid boss fights, we do actually get a little bit of instancing just for that. I think, you know, I get both ends of it, but I do think that would make things a lot easier for the development team and just to make things flow better. However, not having dailies, great news. Honestly, I never thought it would. I've never even thought to question it. I just assumed Pantheon's not that kind of game, but it is very nice to get confirmation that it is not. So what I wanted to do, and the reason I made this video, is I really wanted to hear what the community's feedback on dailies are, because a lot of people enjoy it, right? A lot of people think that's fun, right? They got a very specific thing that they know to do each day in their game. And it's casual, and you know, they can work and they can deal with their family, and they know as long as they got a couple of hours aside each day to play their MMO, then they can log on and do that and still feel the progression. Now, in case you don't know, Pantheon also is going for a, if you only have a couple of hours a day, you can still feel progression, but they're doing it in the way that they tune the leveling up, I guess you could say rewards, and just the experience itself, as well as the ability to get with your group and your team and play together easier, right? So it's not as, you know, long of a wait or LFG forever, that kind of thing. So being able to pair you up and get you with other people quicker and to get into action faster, and for there to be just a ton of things to do, you know, and that includes just exploring or what have you. I have plenty of videos on the various activities available in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen that you can check out. So I just want to hear your opinion. And also, guys, while you're here and you're still listening to me ramble on, I also want to ask your opinion on something else I'd like you to leave in the comments down below. So feel free to leave 2 comments, right? Or both the answers in 1 comment, however you want to do it. Just definitely comment down below how you feel about dailies, because that is the point of this video. But while I've got your attention, let me ask you this. How do you feel, since, I mean, at this point I've covered, you know, almost 200 videos, if not over that, of Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. And there's just a lot of subjects I've already touched on, and I kind of feel weird about making another video touching on literally the same thing. The problem is, I've made so many videos talking about so many things, I'm kind of running out of new things to talk about, right? So what's your opinion on the Nathan Napalm going back and reiterating some things that maybe we have more information on now, and maybe I can speak a little more heavily on, even though they're subjects I've already covered? If that's the kind of content you'd like to see for Pantheon Rise of the Fallen here on this channel, please let me know in the comments down below, because if you guys want it, I would love to do that, because there's a lot I could say on things. So let me know about that. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. It's a little short, but it's kind of a short subject, right? Like, are we having dailies? Nope, we're not. I wanted to tell you why I'm happy, and I want to hear your opinion on it and hear the community's voice on how you feel about that, and if it's something you're kind of like, oh man, I kind of wanted that, or if you're happy to hear that we're not getting that repetitious kind of just log in just to do this a couple of tasks kind of thing, right? Let me know in the comments down below. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Lots more Pantheon content coming. If you've been living under a rock or missed the bulletin red alert, then coming up, at least the time it's recording, this coming Sunday, there is going to be a stream with Co-Carnage in which you're going to be showing off Pantheon's demo version, which is obviously, as they talked about a long time ago, something that they prepped in order to help show publishers the spirit of Pantheon. So they're trying to embody the gameplay systems and everything in such a way that they can show it to publishers and hopefully get interest with a publisher that meets their vision. As they've reiterated time and time again, they turned down many publisher deals because they just didn't match in the vision, right? Or they want to change things that would fundamentally change Pantheon, which they won't do. So good job on that, BR, by the way. Anyway, guys, thanks for the video. One more big shout out to the members of Napalm. Thank you guys so much. You allow me to continue doing this. I really appreciate you guys. I could not do it without you. And if you're interested in becoming a member, please click the join button down below for more information and a list of perks. And of course, you greatly help support this channel. And until next time, guys, God bless and happy gaming. Please listen to what I say. I've been making videos all day. It's a video buffet. You can even hit replay. But please just subscribe. I can't even describe being part of my tribe. I'll even offer you a prize. But just please just subscribe and hit the bell notification too.